Fondi is a recently retired art teacher, elementary art teacher, who does absolutely phenomenal artwork like I've never seen before. She makes dolls and puppets that are amazing. And tonight she's going to share her expertise with altered books. And her altered books are just so intricate and so involved that I could just like pick one up and get lost in it. It's like literally spend hours. But she also does, she started a group at the North Hills Art Center called Renegades Mixed Media Enthusiasts. Did I get that all right?
Well, there's an art in there somewhere.
Art enthusiasts?
Mixed media art enthusiasts. Yes.
Okay.
You did well.
I tried. It's the right order.
You're the right order.
Okay.
Renegades was the most important.
But they meet on Wednesday mornings at the Art Center and also twice.
Second Monday nights.
Second Monday night, once a month. So you're welcome to come and work with her if you get engaged with this, because it really is addictive, right, Cindy?
Mm-hmm.
We were doing it at the Maker, and she was like, what is this? And we're starting with the book, and by the time we were done, we're like, oh man, this could be bad. Hours are going to disappear. But yeah, so welcome, Chris, and show us what you got.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Hi. Hi. I'm Chris Fondi. It's nice to meet you all. When I was a serious art student, serious, I mean, somber, I was told that sketchbooks, you must have a sketchbook, you must carry a sketchbook, you must work in a sketchbook. And of course I was completely enamored with Leonardo's sketchbooks and with a couple of Japanese artists who, when they make their sketchbooks, they do them in accordion folds in rice paper, and they're magnificent to look at, and they're just so I couldn't do that. I never succeeded at a sketchbook. So about, I don't know, 14 years ago, 15 years ago, I started following a lady who was a scrapbooker, which I thought was, okay, I kind of understand what that's about, except I could never scrapbook either. And that's when I picked up a book that my kids had drawn in, and I started to alter the pages. I would use things that I found in the room, because I'm an art teacher. I used to get a lot of stuff from other teachers, like, we don't know what to do with this, we're going to throw it out. Yeah, I don't throw anything out. I will give you a warning that this is extremely addictive, and that you will find that any piece of paper that passes your hands is worthwhile and can be used somewhere, somehow.
So don't throw anything away.
Yeah.
Ever again.
I've never thrown another piece of paper.
Where's Jim? Where's Jim? Tell him that. You said I don't
Never
away.
throw another piece of paper. And I get to the point where if I go out with my kids and we're getting an ice cream cone, my son will pull the little paper off the bottom and go, Mom. And I'll say, shut up, in my pocket. So yes, it's horrible. The nice thing about it is that it becomes an experiment in what if I did this? How could I do that? What about if I actually made the move? Ooh. And then you just start falling into it. So it became, for me, my sketchbook. This is how I practiced the things I wanted to do. As Kim said, I make dolls. At one point, I started making small little spirit dolls that are encrusted with beads. And I wanted to show them in a gallery. And I went in and they were like, oh, these are lovely, and da 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 da. But we can't put them up because they're going to end up walking out of the gallery, because they're like little critters. And so I had to come up with some way to enshrine them, to protect them. And then I'm like, ugh. Assemblage, okay, fine, I studied that in school. And, but my assemblage was just, are you kidding me? So I started using this format to work on backgrounds that would set off the dolls. And then the backgrounds became so like, cool. And then I'm like, I don't want to put that in behind a doll, I want to keep that. So then the books started to grow. I have many books. Someone said I was a paper rescuer, which I thought was the nicest thing that anybody could say about it. I taught it in my classroom. Paper doll. Paper doll. She's a mermaid. I started working at the Pittsburgh Children's Museum, where I worked with puppeteers from the Great Northwest. And so I started doing puppets. I started doing dolls that would actually move. And it kept falling. It kept falling into a new thing. It kept falling into a new thing. And so the only thing that really held through all of it was that I love paper. And I love books. My mother was director of the Sewickley Library for 30 years. And so I had access to lots and lots of books. I was one of 7 children and the only one who read. Thank you very much. So I started to play with them. And then because I started at the high school level teaching, I really did. And then they said, oh, but you're such a personality, you should go work with the little kids. Well, okay, fine. So I went to work with the little kids. I got stuck there, which was okay. But you didn't get my jokes, and it was a little frustrating, and I had to clean noses and tie shoes. It was sad. But I refused to change my projects or my classes because they were little. So we made books, and we made masks, and we did weavings, and we did stuff that the high school kids were doing. Better than the high school kids. Because we weren't all intimidated by, high school crap. So what I have done is, I have brought for you today remnants of my schoolwork. This is the way most of the paper will start. These are actual, like I said, 30 years teaching. So I have lots and lots and lots of papers that were part of projects. Like, okay, we're going to play with lines. Da, 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 da. What line can you do? Da, da, da. And so I actually had a lot of kids like around me while I was starting to pack things. And I said, who wants this? Who wants this? And so I ended up with an awful lot of the papers. And then what I did was I took them and I started using them as the backgrounds for these little books that I made. And that's why I want you to come over here, get yourself a piece of paper and some of the mark making tools I have and start making some marks on paper. It will loosen you up. It will make you, it will give you a background to work on as we start to talk about collage and stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay?
Great.